Hi everyone. Does anyone know the rates of suicide in LGBT plus community reasons in society? So according to the CDC, in their 2016 article, sexual identity, of sexual contact and health risk behavior among students in grade 9 to 12, youth risk behavior surveillance, the rate of suicide in LGBT youth is 4 times greater than straight youth and for 2 times greater for questioning youth um, than straight youth. So personally, I am a part of LGBTQ community, and it is can be relevant for anyone else in this room because anyone you know can be a part of this community too. So today I want to discuss about LGBT rights, dealing with equality and why they are important, as well as the tolerance and acceptance of those who are in LGBT community. So I will do this by discussing the issue and um, that the community faces simply because they are not accepted as as equals. How can we fix that, and what may come in that situation if we can not do it or we can do it? Let's dive into the issue um, the community faces. So let's talk about suicide rate. So it is a really high suicide rate. According to speech in 2009 art suicide fact article, suicide is the leading cause of death among gay and lesbian youth nationally. 30% of gay youth attempted suicide near the age of 15. Almost half of gay and lesbian teens state that they have attempted suicide more than once. Higher risk for mental health illness. So, National Alliance of Mental Illnesses 2016 LGBTQ plus. LGBTQ plus individuals are almost 3 times more likely than others to experience a mental health condition such as major depression or generalized anxiety disorder. Um, and it's also talk about high bullying and also rate. So Joseph G. Corsay's author 2015 article, The Experience of Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Youth in our nation's schools. Close to 9 in 10 LGBTQ students were harassed at school, and nearly 3/4 of students reported being verbally harassed at school because their sexual orientation and their harass of their gender expression. And Julie Jado 2010 article, The Understanding, Design and Teaching LGBT issues, also said that it is still legal to discriminate in the workplace based on sexual orientation and gender identity in some state, because there has been no directed prohibitions that kind of discrimination. So how can we fix this? Well, we can promote normalization and tolerance while also spreading the knowledge that discriminatory behavior is illegal. So let's talk about normalization. In in Nancy J. Smith et al. 2008 article of uh, a, a national study of LGBT educator perception of their workplace climate. 35% of the respondents felt unsafe at school based on their sexual orientation. We need to start normalizing LGBT plus identity at all ages. Started at preschooler. We this doesn't mean that we talk about sex in front of the preschool kid, but the educators who introduce the basic concept of LGBT identities will have to prevent the formation of stereotype discriminations, and will undermine the view that LGBT LGBTQ plus people are advertisement in societies. Let's talk about tolerance next. So in this case, we need to learn to respect and understand the differences of LGBTQ plus community. They are also a human being in just the same like us, and they need our respect and tolerance in order to develop and live their truly life. Um, and more than that, they also need our acceptance. About next is discriminatory. So discriminatory behavior is when someone violates the Equality Act 2010. If you are violating discriminatory behavior, the individual has to be in charge according to the law. So what may be the consequences of this situation? So negative or positive? If we do not take this role, it's certainly that suicide rate will only rise, and then we will lose a largely amount of people if we allow discrimination to happen. If we do take this role, the suicide will definitely drop, and many people will be safer. They will feel more comfortable, and overall the society will become more peaceful. um, so I have now discussed the LGBT rights and dealing with equality and why they are important, as well as the acceptance and tolerance of those who in LGBT community. Today I have covered the issue of the LGBT community faces, how we might be able to fix that, and what may happen if we take those suggestions or if we choose not to. So I would like to ask everybody here to act by treating LGBT people equally, and then make them feel better, show respect to the LGBT people, and then spread the love. And this is the banner that the LGBT people do in order to like fight for their right. So in this banner they said LGBT Americans deserve equity. So that's all what I have for my speech. Thank you, you guys, for listening.